Good evening, I'm Rob Macco. Thanks for joining us for WJCL News at 11. A community pulls together after the murder of a Wilmington Island woman. Friends held a fundraiser at the Wilmington Island Farmers Market today in memory of Lauren Smart. Her husband, Norman Smart, has been charged with her murder. WJCL's Ashley Lincoln was there, and she shows us how the community is coming together to help two young boys who were left without a mom.
The outpouring of support for a family in need continues as the community comes together.
The positive part of it is see that it's so much good in this world, in this local community. All these people came together and did an amazing job.
As family, friends, and those who didn't know Lauren Brown Smart came out to honor Lauren's legacy through a silent auction.
This is the best example of getting the community together, supporting each other, and do something good.
Lauren's husband, Norman Smart, is accused of killing her earlier this month, leaving behind two young boys without a mother or a father.
Hopefully it will relieve a lot of stress that may have come from having two new children added to the household.
Barry Brown, Lauren's father, now takes care of the children along with his wife.
Very appreciative. This overcoming. It's just been a phenomenal amount of people that's come to help.
Organizers say soon as word got out about the fundraiser to help Lauren's family, the donations came rolling in.
In less than 2 weeks, we got over 100 silent auction donations,
along with cash donations from people of all ages.
I raised some of my own money and put it in the raised box for money, and I knew her and all of her kids.
But friends and family say although this won't bring back Lauren, knowing that her kids are left in a community that loves and supports them will help them get through.
The fact that some of these people who are coming forward never even have met Lauren or her children, but still want to be here to help out, and it's just very nice. It also just showed the children that there is some hope, and there's some people really care about them. And
reporting on Wilmington Island, Ashley Lincoln for WJCL News, working for you.
The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is looking for an accused sex offender. Michael Walker is accused of criminal sexual conduct with a minor in the first degree and neglect of a child. The alleged incident happened in Seabrook. If you have any information that could help find him, call South Carolina Crime Stoppers. Chatham County deputies and U.S. Marshals have found a missing sex offender. Rodriguez Coleman was arrested yesterday at the Timberland Apartments on White Bluff Road. He's been on the run since July 2013. Coleman had 4 warrants out for his arrest. Some victims from the Coastal Empire Fair shooting are suing the fair organizers. 8 people were hurt in a shooting at the fair nearly 2 years ago. A spokesperson for attorney Ben Savage says 3 victims are suing the Savannah Exchange Club. They claim the organization knew about a police safety alert about a dangerous situation but didn't warn anyone. And they say the Exchange Club should have followed its policy to announce on a bullhorn the fair was being shut down because of a potentially dangerous power problem. WJCL reached out to the Exchange Club, but our calls were not returned. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Kirk is here now. We hear the thunder over Chatham Parkway here. It's been going on for probably about an hour or so now.
Yeah, we've had off and on scattered thunderstorms in different places. The latest thunderstorm affecting downtown Savannah was some very heavy rain that's drifting to the southeast. We're also keeping track of a weak area of low pressure off the coast. Let's take a look at that first for just a second. See a broad circulation there well east of Georgia that's drifting to the south. That's over warm water and could develop into a tropical system over the next 2 or 3 days. I'll talk more about that coming up in a bit. But first, let's take a look at some of the thunderstorms that have been affecting our area. A lot of them have diminished, except we've had a little bit of a flare up across a couple of the coastal counties, Jasper and Chatham here over the last 30 minutes, and seen some very heavy rain just developed about 20 minutes ago over Savannah. This is all pushing to the southeast. And as we take a closer look here, you can see how the heaviest rain shifting out of the immediate downtown to places like Daffin Park and out to Isle of Hope, Thunderbolt, Whitmarsh, and that will continue to head southeast and affect Tybee as well as Skidaway Islands coming up over the next 20 minutes or so. So some heavy rain may cause a little bit of ponding of water, but the system is moving and will diminish here in just a bit. After that, we'll have lingering clouds and muggy conditions, temperatures in the low and mid 70s as we wake up in the morning. Plenty more in your forecast coming up for the week in just a bit.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, earlier today it was nice for a drive, and you would have heard some old sounding car horns if you were out on River Street. More than 90 vintage cars made their way down the street. Some of these cars date back to the 1910s. This was all part of the Hemmings Motor News Great Race. The race tracks the speed, time, and endurance of these vintage vehicles. The drivers started in Maine and they're headed to Florida.
I've followed it. I've been to South Carolina to see it. I've been to Birmingham to see it come through there. I've just followed it around the country many times.
Each year the race touches different cities, and this year Savannah is the last stop before heading to Florida. More than 2,000 students graduated from South University today. Graduates and families packed into the International Trade and Convention Center. State Representative Ben Watson was this year's guest speaker. He's one of South Coast Medical's co-founders. He served in Georgia's House District 166 since 2011. South President Todd Salini says the school continues to grow. He says they're attracting students from almost every state.
This year's class just shows the diversity, the depth and breadth that South University reaches. We have 44 states represented in our graduating class that are here to walk today.
Salini says he expects the student body growth to continue. Savannah City Leaders Friday celebrated the opening of 2 new playgrounds on the west side. One is located at the Liberty City Neighborhood Center on Millsby Lane Boulevard. It features a playground area and benches. It's all part of the city's efforts to provide a healthier lifestyle and get kids away from computers and video games.
This gives them the opportunity to come out and play and continue to be healthy and to have a healthy, begin to learn how to be healthy by strengthening their bodies.
City leaders also cut the ribbon on a new playground in Filer Park. In addition to the playground, there's a walking trail, benches, picnic area, lighting, parking lot, and a water fountain. Family and friends held a fundraiser today to help a Guyton mother hurt in a tragic accident. Adriana Flowers is still recovering from the crash that killed her 4-year-old son. WJCL's Brandon Livornia has more.
It has not been easy for her or anyone else connected with her, but the support coming from the community is helping make such a terrible situation just a little bit easier. This was the scene Friday, June 6th on Highway 17 in Effingham County. A 2-car accident claimed the life of 4-year-old Owen Rivers of Guyton and sent his mother, Adriana Flowers, to the hospital. Today, cars are being used to help Flowers to pay for her son's funeral and her own medical bills.
Everybody here, the managers know her. We all love her here, so it was not a question about it. I literally called the GM up. I was like, hey, I'm gonna have a car wash. He was like, all right, let's do it.
Amber Goleski says she felt compelled to do something to help Flowers, a longtime friend and co-worker at one time.
People want to do something. I was like, there's nothing we can say or do that's going to make this better. I was like, but people, I think genuinely in their hearts, they want to be able to do that.
Laura DeFord, also friends with Flowers, says such a tragedy could not have happened to nicer people.
She's so sweet. Everyone loved being around her. Everyone loved being around Owen. He was the light of her life, really.
Flowers was not at the event. Those close to her say her strength is remarkable.
She's able to talk about it. Her spirits aren't as down as you would think they would be. She's doing really good considering the situation.
Gorleski says she and Flowers are both overwhelmed by the community support during such a difficult time.
Like on the laptop, got a phone to my ear. It's been borderline overwhelming, but it's really heartwarming.
If you missed today's car wash, you can still help out through the GoFundMe account that's been set up. For a link to that, you can visit our website at WJCL.com. In the studio, I'm Brandon Livornia for WJCL News, working for you.
Thank you, Brandon. Coming up on WJCL News at 11, 55 years ago today, 23 people were left dead after a train disaster in Effingham County. WJCL caught up with the survivor.